NF.1, which states, add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators, including mixed numbers, by replacing given fractions in such a way as to produce an equivalent sum or difference of fractions with like denominators. So the first thing we need to do is refresh a little bit, and we're going to do 1/4 plus 1/4. And since we know that we don't add the denominators and we only add the numerators, we know that 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2/4. And if we simplify that by dividing by 2 on top and bottom, that equals 1/2, or 1/2, which can be seen in this picture here. Now, let's look at another one. 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3, and we know that because, again, we do not add the denominators, we just carry it over, and then we and then we add the numerators. And so you can see in the pictures, 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3, and that can be simplified by dividing the numerator and denominator by 3 to equal 1. Now, remember, this is key to this lesson. We do not add denominators. So if I was to say 1/4 plus 1/2, I would not say that it equals 2/6. And here is the picture here. Because you see here, if we say that it equals 2/6, then it's a smaller piece than we began with, and that can't happen with addition. So, because we know how to simplify, we can solve a problem with unlike denominators. So let's look at this one that we were just looking at, 1/4 plus 1/2. So the first thing that we have to do is find the least common multiple of the denominators. And we do this so that we can multiply both of the fractions to find a common denominator. So we know that the least common multiple of 4 and 2 is in fact 4. So what we're going to do for step 2 is multiply by whatever number you need to make the denominator the least common multiple. The number you multiply by must be equivalent to 1. So kind of how we simplify, where if I had a number that was 2/4, I would divide it both by 2 and it would become 1/2. I'm going to multiply to get the numbers on the bottom to be the same. So 1/4, we know that we have to multiply it by 1 to get 4. So we're just going to go ahead and say 1 divided by 4 times 1 over 1 equals 4. And then 1/2, the way that we get from 2 to 4 is by multiplying by 2. However, we can only multiply by 1, so an equivalent way to say 1 is 2 over 2. So 1/2 times 2 over 2 equals 2 over 4. And so then after we do that, we know we can substitute back in. So it's 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. And so and you can see it in the picture down here. Basically what we did is we took 1/2 and we just divided the circle into another piece like that. So then it's 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. Now let's try one more example. 2/3 minus 1/2, and it is pictured right here. So remember, the first step is for us to find the least common multiples of the denominators, which is 2 and 3. And the least common multiple is, in fact, 6. So we are going to multiply 2/3 by the equivalent of whatever it needs to be to get to 6, which is 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, so we can go ahead and bring that over here. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So the fraction then becomes 4/6. Now we need to multiply 1/2 by 3 over 3 to get 6 on the denominator, and then the numerator is 1 times 3, which equals 3. So then